Gamer Dude!
Aha!
Hi everyone, this is Mario Kart Gamer Dude. We are here with another episode of Gamers United podcast, a day before a Nintendo Direct, by the way, and we are here talking about Mario Kart. And to talk about Mario Kart, I'm here joined by a Mario Kart Youtuber Legend. Care to introduce yourself, man?
Hey, I'm Ryder from RyderKartDX.
Yes, Ryder is very known for his YouTube my channel. I'm talking about all things Mario Kart, so who better to talk about Mario Kart than this guy? Alright, so dude, I have a big load of topics about like ideas for the next Mario Kart. I'm sure you got like a bunch on your hand too.
Oh yeah, I definitely do. I've got a ton of ideas.
Alright, so I'll say some of mine, and then you give your ideas, you share yours, yada yada, and then we'll go from there.
Alright.
Okay, so, like with every Mario Kart, I always loved how it was very multiplayer, unite, and focused and everything, but I always did want something single player also, so that's why I really want in the next Mario Kart we have something involving like a story mode akin to how it was in Diddy Kong Racing DS and 64, how it was the adventure, big open world, going to places, yada yada, something like that, something single player related, because not everyone is able to play multiplayer 24/7 or online, so it would make sense to have, give gamers other stuff to do.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good choice and kind of a little cool concept that you could create out of that. I've always thought of a story mode for Mario Kart, kind of have like a little open hub world, and then kind of just drive around a little bit. And I don't really know, like I feel like they could do a lot of different things with the story mode for Mario Kart, because they could go a route like similar to Mario Golf Super Rush, where they kind of actually have a story. Like sometimes when they say stuff like story modes, they're kind of just, kind of playing through the game a little bit. Kind of like if you were just to go through like all the 150cc cups or something. Like I feel like they wouldn't really create an actual story for Mario Kart, but there's also the possible chance that they could, because they have games like I said with Mario Golf Super Rush that they can create a story with. But I don't really see that with Mario Kart, but I do see them creating some sort of like campaign mode.
Oh yeah, I like with every Mario Kart, like you see, you gave a good example with Mario Kart Super Rush. They did unique bosses in there, so they could have unique bosses. Just like in the Mario Kart DS mission mode, they had unique bosses to fight against. I don't know if they'll go the same route where we shoot items at them. It'll be great. I would love that though. I'm not gonna complain if they do. But maybe you either race against them or something like that. I don't know. Either or sounds good to me.
Oh yeah, like since you brought up mission mode, I feel like kind of giving like just kind of like a visualized example, thinking of like Sonic Generations, how there's like a stage selection and there's like challenges on the side in the hub world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could do something like that with like the little campaign mode for Mario Kart, kind of implement mission mode into like the campaign of Mario Kart instead of having it like as its own separate thing. I guess.
I definitely see that happening if they go that route. If they ever do, like how long, if you do like a story mode or adventure mode, whatever they call it, how long would you like expect it to be? Like, I don't know, a couple hours or so? Not too long. I wouldn't expect like a full big length thing.
Okay, so if we're talking about like the main kind of like story quotation marks, I think that the main campaign might be like around 10 hours, because it all kind of just depends on the track selection and how long the tracks are gonna be, really.
Yeah, fair point. It depends on like all the tracks and stuff. So a second thing that I go off into is the for every time in every Mario sports title, since you mentioned Mario Kart Super Rush again, in every single title they have in every single title, when they win a trophy, they always have like a fun trophy animation. And every time Mario Kart, they always have like little ceremonies going on. But I would love to see a unique animation for every character, because I was really hoping to see that in Mario Kart 8 when it came out. So something like that I think would be like a nice touch, make the game feel more alive.
Oh yeah, definitely. I really want to see them kind of have their own unique animations for winning and I guess even for losing too. Kind of like how the Mario Party, not Mario Party, Mario Kart DS star power up. Do you remember how like they gave special animations for each of the characters in that game whenever they're using their star?
Oh yeah, okay, that'd be a good idea. Like whenever I see like the funny animations that in Mario Power Tennis, that's the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I think of trophy animations. Like those little ceremony sequences with the characters, you know, interacting and stuff. Again, makes it feel more alive and, you know, not like a random thing they're just doing.
Oh yeah, I feel like making the next Mario Kart kind of just step up a little bit more in terms of animation, kind of like what 8 Deluxe kind of already based on. Just kind of build on from that and make them a little bit more expressive when it comes to ceremonies or even like during racing too. Like they could make them more expressive a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, that actually does bring up one topic that I did say. It's just a more interactive and more facial expressive. Like in one video game, Team Sonic Racing, they have the characters say dialogue for specific things. Like if Sonic hits Knuckles, he'll say something related to him, or if Knuckles does something, and then Sonic will react to that. Like they'll say something unique. Like I don't know if people will like mind that or if it'll get annoying. But if say Mario would hit hit people, which he would say something related to like saying "Sorry, Princess," or if Luigi hit Yoshi, like "I'm so sorry, buddy," you know, like stuff like that. I think that would be a fun thing. I doubt they'll do that, but it'd be fun.
I think it would be cool, but I also think they should make that as an option because I could definitely see people getting a little annoyed by that. Kind of like how the Wonder Flower for some reason annoys people in Mario Wonder. You could turn off like the voices for them, even though I don't mind them. I actually kind of like them, but yeah, kind of having it so there's an option there. Maybe you could switch between the original like voice clips, like Mario going like "wow" or you know like that normal thing. I think that would be good, but don't make it strictly so you're always forced to listening to like the voice lines because I could definitely see some people out there getting a little annoyed by them.
Yeah, but I guess that means my one idea of how having the talking flowers as commentators before you start a race or during a race would be a little annoying too.
Honestly, though, that would kind of be a little funny to have. Kind of just have them say like a random line at the beginning of a track or an ending of the track.
Yeah, it would be just saying anything specific about any character. That'd be fun because I remember again relating to Sonic in the Sonic racing games, the first two. They had the announcer say things specific for any character. Like whenever he said things for one Sonic character, he would say something this, blah blah blah. So that would be a good idea. I don't know if they'll actually do that, but it'll be so much fun. Okay, so I said like like 2 or 3 ideas already. What about you, dude? You want to share something you too?
Okay, well, one idea that I had, I think that what they should do with the next game, and I'm sure that you have it on your list. I kind of already saw it a little bit, but it's the main mechanic for the next game. I think that, kind of adding on to like the whole Mario Wonder thing, I think that the Wonder Flower could be the main gimmick for the next game. And for what I said in my video, I said that on lap 3 specifically, they could change it so it's like kind of like a more difficult version of the course. Not it's kind of confusing because like maybe they could change the scenery of like Airship Fortress or something, like kind of make it like, I don't know, like an ice track. I don't know if that's too technical to kind of think about, but it's honestly kind of interesting because the Wonder Flower could literally just do anything. They could make it so it's like more trickable jumps or more enemies on the track, or you know, like there's just a lot of ideas that could go into it because Wonder Flowers are just so random. They could base some of them off the game itself, Mario Wonder.
Right. Yeah, you're right, and you are right about the thing on my list. I said in the 3rd lap it would change the course layout to have maybe ramps or other paths similar to the Tour's trick versions. In Mario Kart Tour, they had the trick version of a track, which I really did like, so that could be like one thing maybe they could do. It depends.
I also think that like kind of like we both have the same idea with lap 3 specifically, because another thing that I wanted to add on to that, why I chose lap 3, is because having the music kind of more sped up, you know how it's like that on every final lap for every track in every game. I feel like that adds more of a kind of like a higher stakes, and it kind of feels like, obviously it gives you like a little bit of pressure to kind of like stay in first until the end of the lap. And I feel like that would work very well with the Wonder Flower, because it's adding more pressure onto the track and yourself.
Right, okay. I do see all that. So, for like any other gimmick idea do you have that you can bring up to the table aside from Wonder Effects? Like anything else? I know it's very hard to come up with a gimmick for the next Mario Kart aside from this.
I think there's been a lot of people that have been wanting something similar to what Sonic Transformed did with its racing game. Kind of like have it so it switches up, I think, like every lap. I haven't played the game in a little while, but kind of make it so the kind of like the environment of the track changes. Like you're sometimes flying in the air, or you're swimming in the water, like driving in the water, I mean. And the first lap you could be just driving on the track regularly. Other than that, I don't have any other ideas specific to me, but I honestly kind of think the Sonic Transformed idea could be really cool to see in Mario Kart.
Yeah, for me, I also said the kart transformations are a good idea. Like, I don't know if they'll actually do like giant ships or a plane. That'll be fun, but I'm thinking like what other transformation they can do. I'm sure they can come up with something, but transformations are a great idea, and also will bring the audience in to play the game, because I did like the transformation aspect. It changed up the game. I know it did like bring up people comparing it to Diddy Kong Racing again, because it had the boat and plane thing. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that does make sense.
Okay, so one other idea that I had was for more, since in Mario Kart Tour they introduced a lot of outfits and stuff for the characters. I was thinking for the next game they would have more outfits / customization, like skins again, like for outfit and stuff, and then maybe tire skins, glider skins, balloon skins if you're doing balloon battle, etc.
Oh yeah, I have actually a big idea on skins for the next Mario Kart, whether it's drivers, karts, or gliders, or even balloons, really. I feel like a lot of the stuff, since Tour was kind of already like this, it was kind of just being saved inside of the Booster Course Pass. Like the Booster Course Pass was obviously reserving most of its content, rip Piranha Plant Pipeline, but anyway, I think that with the drivers, since there was a few original drivers and all the alternate skins basically that didn't make it into 8 Deluxe, I think that in the next game they're going to set up some sort of shop system, kind of like how Tour has it, but obviously cheaper and not like, kind of like not really like a gambling sort of this thing. But I think that the coins that you collect on the track, maybe they can make it so it's not like a 10 coin limit anymore on the tracks, and maybe you can collect as much as up to like 100 per race or something. I honestly think that'd be really cool, and maybe like driver skins could be like, I don't know, like 500 coins or something, depending on what they are, or kart skins could be like 100 coins, and gliders could be 100 too, and then maybe like balloon skins could be like 50 coins or something. Like I could see that honestly happening. The shop system I could definitely see happening. I think that they're gonna bring back most of the Tour alts, or probably all of them really, because they're honestly all so cool and people love them from Tour, and I would be kind of really disappointed if they didn't bring them back.
Yeah, true. Okay, so that actually brings up something that I actually had one other idea of, since you say the shop system and stuff, and buying content. So my whole thing also that I was hoping Mario Kart would do was for the next Mario Kart, I was hoping for them to do unlocking content the right way, because in Mario Kart 8 you could easily unlock everything just by playing a lot of races and using it by collecting enough coins, and then the characters are unlocked by random, the cards are unlocked by random. And while, yeah, the surprise factor was nice, I guess surprising who would be coming in, what character you would get, that'd be fine, but I liked how it was before, working your way to unlock a specific character. But in Mario Kart Wii, I remember working my butt off unlocking all the characters.
Yeah, I think that if they were to go do that again, do you think that they should make it so it tells you specifically what you have to do to unlock this, instead of like having to look up online like a tutorial or, you know, some sort of like hint to getting it? Like, I feel like...
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, maybe. I didn't mind having to look up back in the day to how to unlock certain characters, but it helped. But, for now, I would be okay if they told you how to unlock them. I would be okay if they didn't. I would be also okay if they didn't, because then you'd be like, how do I unlock them? How do I unlock them? Then because you'd be working your way to unlock them. But if there's a way to find it online, I'd be okay with it also. But the main point of this thing is I liked working to unlock things, because in all the Mario Sports titles, just give everyone like that. And all Mario Sports titles just give you the characters for free updates. I didn't have to work for any of them, really. I didn't unlock anything. It was really just pointless on getting stuff. Like, I want that challenge.
Yeah, I think that the Wii option, kind of like I already mentioned, Mario Kart Wii, going back to that would be really cool. But I was also thinking of something from, I think, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. I have not played that in a long while either. But there was a specific way of how they unlocked like skins for that game, and I can't remember if it was coins that you collected, and it was like a little roadmap. I don't know if I'm like going crazy or not.
I'm not even sure. I didn't buy Mario Kart Live Circuit because I didn't see any point in getting it. But if there's like if you have like a roadmap showing like who to unlock his nest, I would like that. That'd be good. That way it shows like, okay, I'm that far. Just keep doing this, keep doing that, then you'll be able to unlock them. I wouldn't mind that. That one's a good idea.
Yeah, kind of like, so to make the Grand Prix like feel like you still need 100% them, if they were to like do the roadmap thing, I think that they should make it so maybe you unlock like carts or glider parts while, you know, doing the regular Grand Prix or something, and once when you get them all, you get the usual gold parts that are, you know, just gold.
Yeah, that's actually one of my good idea. I hope that they actually do that. Okay, so I shared like 2 or 3 on my end. What about you, dude?
For what specifically? Like another idea?
Let's see. Okay, so I know we talked about modes and stuff. What other modes or new modes would you like to see in the other specific mode would you like to see, aside from like mission mode or adventure mode, or anything new mode you want to see added?
Okay, I feel like I want to say something similar to the Blue Coin Challenge that was added to CGP 7. You know, the mod pack for Mario Kart 7. The Blue Coin Challenge, if you don't know what it is, it's like you collect a specific blue coin on each track, and it's usually hidden in like a difficult spot of the course. So I feel like they could do something like that. Like, I obviously I don't expect it at all, but it's a really cool idea that the developers of that mod pack created, and I think that would add some replayability to kind of go and explore tracks a little bit, and kind of like add more of that campaign aspect to it. Maybe like they're hidden on the track in the campaign mode specifically, and maybe you can unlock special skins or unlockables or some sort of thing when finding them. I feel like something similar I could reference to that to kind of like make it more sense is Sonic R. You know how you go like a specific path, like a secret path, and I can't remember, was it Chaos Emeralds that were on those secret paths?
I think so, to unlock certain characters, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they could do something like that, like hide like a secret, like, I don't know, like a star, just a regular star, not like a star power-up, just like a, you know, regular Mario star, or, you know, just a coin, like a special star coin or whatever. Like, I feel like they could do something like that, at least for the campaign mode. I could see it.
For me, I would have one specific mode, and that would be the double dash mode. Have that be an individual mode for people who want to play that, you know, 2 characters per card. I doubt that will happen, but just one idea that since a lot of people love that mechanic, that I think maybe it could work again. I don't know if they actually do it, but that's one mode that I can, like, double dash mode, play that. I don't know if the Grand Prix will be the same, yada yada, but, you know, something like that would be fine for me.
I feel like they know how much people have been, like, in love with Double Dash lately, and the fact that they really haven't been giving the game too much love, which is kind of just disappointing. I feel like they are going to have a Double Dash mode back in the next game, and I feel like that would be really good to have, so, you know, people could have that option. I mean, they kind of already have that set up a little bit with 8 Deluxe, with how you can get 2 items again, but it obviously isn't the same way as how Double Dash did it. But maybe you can bring back the Double Dash carts only specific for that mode, and maybe a few new ones as well, obviously, but maybe specific to that mode, they can bring all the original Double Dash, trying to think, all the Double Dash carts back, and then they could also do special items in that mode as well, because I feel like giving special items in regular mode would not work as well. I don't really know, but I feel like Double Dash mode would just kind of give more of that nostalgia if you specifically had the special items for that mode.
Yeah, for me, yeah, that actually does relate to one of the things. Like, I did want specific items to come back. I don't know if they did the Double Dash mode, they'll do the specific items from Double Dash again, but for specific items, I wanted characters to have their own unique item again. That way, it has, like, that thing, like imagine, again, like Mario and Luigi had the fireballs, and DK had the giant banana and stuff. So, in the next Mario Kart, they should have, like, specific items. That way, it would have characters, people wanting to pick that character because, oh man, I wanted to pick that character because they had the best item. That way, it would have them your own main. That way, it would make the differences between the characters even more, aside from, like, stats and stuff.
Do you think that some of the characters could use duplicate items, or do you think that all of them should have, like, a specifically new item specific to them?
Probably a new item specific to them. I don't know how much they will do. It all depends on how large the roster is, so I don't know if they will have the duplicate items, but maybe some might be similar, like they might all be different, but some might work similar to each other. You know, it's just a skin of the thing that looks different. Again, I have no idea how they will make it work. It just depends on how large the roster is and how much the mechanic will be.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think that, okay, let me think. I think that the special items, like you said, I think some of the characters probably would have duplicates, like kind of like how Mario and Luigi's were sort of duplicates in Double Dash, and how, kind of like the partners, like if they were to assign like specific partners, they could probably have the same item or at least very similar items. Maybe that if they weren't to do that, then maybe they'll limit specific characters from being played from Double Dash mode, but I don't think that they'll do that. So maybe they might just go and give some characters duplicates, like Funky Kong and Donkey Kong might have like the same one, but I feel like with like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, they could have like Giant Banana, or they could do it so it's like Dixie Kong and Funky Kong have like the banana cannon from Mario Kart Tour or something. Like I could, there's a lot of different things that they could do with this, honestly.
Right, that's true. And you talking about the characters and stuff with the items and stuff. So, this actually brings into the big topic that everyone always like loves predicting about. How large do you think the roster for the next Mario Kart will be? And this is not talking about DLC, which I do think they'll do probably for it maybe. But regardless, for like the base roster, like how large do you think it will be? Will it be as large as Mario Kart 8 will be, or a lot smaller?
Well, obviously not like, you know, base Mario Kart 8 size.
God, no.
Yeah, hell no. I think that they'll go and have a similar roster size to Mario Kart Deluxe, and then they might add like another like 2 or 3 rows of characters. I think that they'll do that. I think that would make the most sense. Maybe because like I personally think the next game is going to be a live service game, and I kind of will go back to that in a little bit, but I think that having it so it's basically the same size as Mario Kart Deluxe, at least for the base game, would be pretty good.
Right. Yeah, like I'm not gonna predict on who's in and who's not, but I do think that it'll be as big maybe as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is. I don't know if they will make it smaller, but if they do or not, it'll be great. And you actually talked about saying live service game. That's one of my things that I talked about also. I said that maybe they might do a live service game with seasons. You know, I was thinking them a Disney Speedstorm kind of thing, but they kind of do that in a similar way. They have different seasons, you know, bringing in newer content and newer characters and stuff. So I don't know if they'll do that, but a live service game, I do probably predict that happening. I don't know if they will, but it's a thought.
Okay, so I have a huge idea for this one. I think that maybe like similar to the Booster Course Pass time releases, they could go and give out like maybe like 1 or 2 new cups every 3 months, have some new characters added, like maybe like 2 or 3 new characters, similar, kind of like in waves a little bit, and also kind of similar to how Tour introduced new content. Like I feel like having every 2 weeks would be a little too much and a little overwhelming. So I think going back to like the Booster Course Pass, release them in waves, obviously as like free content, because I don't think they should make them paid. I think that just, you know, like maybe like over the course of like 2 years, like they did with the BCP, maybe give us like a few new cups every like 2 or 3 months or something. Maybe even every month. Like maybe they could just give us like a ton of new tracks every month, maybe a ton of new like items or characters or carts or gliders, etc. I think that would work really well.
That would definitely work well, and plus, you know, it would have people coming back to the game, keep playing it, yada yada. So that would be a good idea. I don't know if they ever do it, but if they do, then I'm all for it.
I think that would also keep the hype up for the, you know, like the current Mario Kart that'll be out at that time. And I think, because that's kind of what kept a lot of Tour players and 8 players to come back to the game, was how hype it was to see what were we going to get next. Because we had no idea, aside from, you know, prefix data mines, but even then, that ended up becoming mostly false later on.
Yeah. Okay. So, one more thing on my end, then I'll do, go on your side. So, one other thing that I wanted to bring up is, when I talk about specific items, a lot of people always did say that the item balance in Mario Kart 8 is a little bit off, and they liked how it was in earlier titles. So, would you want the item balance to be much more better in the next title, or do you like it how it was in Mario Kart 8?
That one is kind of a little tricky question for me, because I do like how we set it up so like you can't really get bullet bills in like a higher place, or even lightning bolts. They're kind of specific to like 12th or 11th place, really. There was like low chances you can get at like 10th or 9th, I think. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has it so like, you know, like kind of like you mentioned, you could really get like a bullet bill. Like if you had like frantic items mode on, you can get it in like 6th place, maybe even a little higher. So like, I think going back to Mario Kart Wii's version would be way better. Kind of like limit items to specific placements, because I feel like having them just randomly in the middle, like, I don't know, like 6th place or 5th place with like a star power up, it doesn't feel the same as like getting in a lower place, because those items are meant for lower places just so you can catch up, not like get super far ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's what it was. My items go back to the worked in Wii. I do like that. As long as the item isn't that thundercloud. I hated that one so much. It was annoying.
People always hate that, and while I think it was annoying, I also feel like it kind of was a good item. I don't know why. I know that's a very hot topic, but
yeah, definitely a hot topic. Okay, so dude, what other ideas do you have for like the next title that you haven't already said already?
Okay, so the only thing that I could think of that we haven't talked about is how many tracks are going to be coming back in the next game. Between base game or having DLC, we can just skip on the DLC for now. What do you think? How many tracks do you think is going to be in the base game?
Well, aside from like not talking about DLC, I do think like the typical form Nitro Cups and for retro cups would be a good idea. I do think maybe it might add like maybe a 5th cup and another 5th cup, make it like 10. That way, it'd be much more. I don't know if they would, but it'd be great. As for what courses will come back, that is a tricky question because I know they're gonna bring a lot from the Wii U, my base game of Mario Kart 8, but I don't know for the other ones. It'll be hard to say because there are some that missed out on the booster course pass, and then there are some that haven't been brought back in a long time. Like I know so many have been saying for Wario Stadium from N64 to come back, and it hasn't come brought back at all. So that's one idea, but I don't know which specific courses will come back. But though, the one course that I do hope comes back in the next title is either Airship Fortress or Toad's Factory, because those missed out in BCP.
Toad's Factory and Wario Coliseum are my top 2 that just need to be in the next game. There's no doubt that those two just need to be in there, and then I'll be fine.
Yeah, I am surprised that Wario's Coliseum from Mario Kart Double did not make it in. It was the perfect setting for anti-gravity. I'm surprised they didn't do it.
Oh yeah, I was definitely surprised as well. But to get started with what I think, I don't know if this sounds like a little too much or not, but I think that they should go and give out 48 tracks right off the bat base game. I think that's going to be the new standard for Mario Karts from now on. 24 Nitro tracks and 24 Retro tracks. Does that seem a little too unrealistic or no?
Well, maybe I'm a little bit big, but not too much. I mean, it'll be amazing, but I don't know if Nintendo will go that route. I mean, of course, they could surprise us. For all we know, they love surprising us. So, but part of me would love that to happen, but I don't know if they would drop that much content onto the base game. It's hard to say. I would love that. That way, I have plenty of stuff to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think mentioning back onto what specific tracks are going to be coming back, I don't want to spoil too much because I'm still trying to set up my retro track predictions video. But for my retro tracks specifically, I was having a hard time figuring out if any of the tour remade retros that have never been remade before, such as Yoshi Desert or Lakeside Park, are they going to use their tour appearance in the next game, or are they going to redesign it a little bit, or are they just going to completely revamp it, or just not bring it in at all?
I think they will revamp it because in the next console, everything has to look way better than how it was in Mario Kart, way better. I'm guessing even better than how Odyssey was. The characters look more alive. The hair, everything, the textures of the characters and stuff will look more amazing. So they will definitely have to make every course that they bring from tour much more better, Yoshi Desert, the Lakeside Park, that one. But that was they definitely have to revamp everything, make it look real. I don't know how much they will redo, but I'm pretty sure they will do a lot.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna try to keep most of what Tour created, but kind of revamp it a little bit so it's at least a little more exciting to race on, I guess, because I feel like a lot of the Tour remakes, as a lot of people have said, are kind of really flattened and there's not really too much going on. But for the remakes themselves, I feel like the designs are just fine. Tracks like Luigi Circuit, I felt did a really good job for an example of that, because it's not it's a fully flattened course. Some areas are a little bit more elevated and they kind of have a few extra jumps added, so I think keeping a course like that is fine. Something like Peach Circuit that got a completely new overhauled remake, I'm not sure if they would do anything else of that, even though it's very simplistic and basic. Tracks like Dry Dry Ruins, that's one of the tracks that didn't make it into the BCP and was never recreated before Tour. So that track, I don't know if they're gonna bring that one back or not. And the graphics were kind of really a little kind of bad for the Tour remake, honestly, but I think that they could probably just revamp the graphics, and the track itself is basically just how it played in Wii, so I think that would be fine. But it's kind of a confusing topic to figure out if they're gonna revamp Tour remakes or if they're just not even gonna go with that at all and just not use the track. But I think a lot of the Tour remakes they will use.
Yeah, I think that actually will do that as well. I don't know for how many other Tour titles will bring in, but I will say this. I would like my Pipeline to come back. I hope it comes in this game. I think they will. But aside from that course, I hope that if they bring Sunset Wilds into the next game, make sure the sunset sets, please. It was weird.
I think that Sunset Wilds should take a break for a little while, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, though I do hope the Pipeline does make it in, because I do think that because of the fact that they brought in every city course, that they didn't have enough room to put in the Pipeline one.
Yeah, but I can't even go into that topic because it just frustrates the heck out of me.
Yeah, I was very confused too, but because again, like I think they should have not added in every city course. I liked some of the city courses, but not everyone. Some didn't feel like they needed to be in there, honestly. I think only a few, like 2 or 3 would have been fine, and then it would have made more room for more courses. But that's time for another day.
Yeah, that's a completely other topic that could go on for, like, hours.
Yeah. Okay. So, there's one other thing I'll say, then I'll leave you to say more, and I'll say one other thing, then one other last thing, and then we're done. So, one thing I'll say over here, like, for me, do you think they will go for the everyone is here route, like how they did in Smash Brothers? Bringing every single character that we've had from all over Mario Kart into the next title?
I would say yes, but I've thought about that for the past few months, ever since the BCP ended, and I'm going to have to say no. Now, the reason why I want to say that is because, like, you got to think about the future afterwards of the next Mario Kart game after that. Like, they're not going to be able to top what they already made, and that's what I feel like Smash Brothers is, like, in a kind of sticky situation right now, because they have, like, almost everything that is, like, in the Smash Brothers series in one game. And I feel like doing that with Mario Kart, it would be very overwhelming. But I do kind of see them adding all of the old Mario Kart characters, at least. Maybe add most of the karts and gliders from the past games. But I don't see them adding every single track into one game, because that just, number one, very unlikely. And number two, that would be way too overwhelming and just way too much in one game.
Yeah, true. It's just a fun idea. It'll be fun, but it will be like hard to top, especially with the Smash Brothers thing. You are right about that. Oh, and also before I move on, plus I'm pretty sure not everyone will be happy seeing all the Mario and Peach clones a lot.
Oh yeah, there'd be a ton of Marios and Peaches.
No, too much. We already have enough. Thank you. Anyway, so okay, so what other ideas do you have on your end?
You mentioned something about, graphics earlier, and how, the game needs to look better, like, than what the BCP was basically doing, and how it's going to be more than likely on the next console. So I have a little question for you about that. Do you think that they're going to go the route of still using 8 Deluxe's graphics, like the base game of 8 Deluxe, or do you think they're going to go back to a more cartoony style, similar to kind of like what Tor or Double Dash did?
A good question, because now that you say cartoony and stuff, it just bother to me, like using the how they were, how very cartoony and expressive how they were in Wonder, and it makes you wonder. That is actually a no puns in the game intended. Makes you actually think, like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, would you want it more cartoony and like, oh wow, or keep the graphics how it was like in Mario Kart 8? That is a very good question. I would love upgraded version of how it was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even more textures to the characters and stuff, but the cartoony aspect, that is a good question. I wouldn't mind either one of them, but the cartoony one's an interesting thing.
Yeah, like, I feel like the high graphics looks really nice, but at the same time, like, the cartoony look, kind of like Double Dash is the perfect example. Double Dash's art style is just so perfect, and it still looks good, even though it can look a little bit more flattened than kind of like the more realistic look. But Mario Kart really does fit both styles, but I think the cartoony style fits a little bit better because, Mario Kart is just like a little goofy spin-off of Mario,
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that is a good question. I don't know if I don't know how Nintendo will do it. I'm pretty sure they'll surprise us in the next title. So that is a good idea.
Yeah, it is. Like they could go back to using 8 Deluxe's graphics, but I'd honestly kind of like to see the cartoony graphics make a return. Maybe something similar to what Tor did, but obviously make it a little bit more textury, I guess.
Here are two things that are related to the same thing. Well, actually, three. Okay, so do you think there will be a thing where they have us drive in reverse, how it was in Mario Kart Tour, reverse courses or reverse races?
Oh, that is actually a really good question. I think that maybe they could make it like, I don't know actually, because it's a little bit different compared to doing what they did with mirror mode. You just mirror the track with like a code, but I think with reverse tracks you have to add more like trickable ramps and stuff, and maybe they could change up routes. But honestly, I really do not know. Like, that was something I've always thought about. Like, are they gonna keep that mechanic sort of thing from Tour, or are they just not gonna bring it back? And it's possible because Double Dash had a canceled reverse variant mode. So honestly, I could see that happening as a new like CC variant of like 150cc or something. You know how they usually do it. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, it was an idea that came to my mind. I've seen some courses do, car races do that, so it is one idea that came to my mind. But that actually does bring up one thing. Since you mentioned CC, this isn't even on my list, but do you think they're going to bring back 200cc?
Yes, I do think 200cc is going to be like a staple to the Mario Kart series now. There's been talk about if there's going to be like 250 or 300. I think that's a little too much. I think that 200 is perfect. So I think that, yeah, they're probably going to keep it in the next game.
Yeah, I think it will be an unlockable class that you have to beat after beating either 150 or mirror mode. So yeah, that's one class that I hope comes back. Okay. Okay, dude, one other thing on your end, then I'm gonna end it off with a fun question. Go ahead, your turn.
All right, I actually don't think I have any other ideas, honestly. I think all the ideas that we kind of just talked about, that's kind of like what I imagine for the next Mario Kart game. I don't really have like any other specific things, honestly.
Okay, so here are two fun questions. So the first thing, and this is actually like a thing that I actually don't want to happen at all, but do you think that they're gonna do the same thing that they did with the Mario Sports titles and do have the thing be very bare bones and do a free update model?
You mean like how they kind of do like those updates like on the Switch versions of the sports games?
Yes, I really hope they don't do that. I saw one fan say they might do that. Like, no, they're not gonna do that. If they do that, no, that would be the worst thing ever.
Hell to the no on that. That would kill the next Mario Kart game, and we wouldn't be able to see a new one for like a long while anyway. So like, no. That's just no.
Never gonna happen.
No way.
No way. Okay. If that thing ever comes to mind, no, kick that person out.
No, kick the person out. Get them out of here.
All right. So the last final question I have for you is, what do you think the name of the next Mario Kart would be?
Oh, that one's a good one. I've thought of a bunch of different names, but I think it's gonna come down to Mario Kart X, honestly, because I feel like that sounds really cool for a Mario Kart game to have, and I almost want to say, wasn't that like the original title for Mario Kart Wii?
I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they thought that was the original, but anyway, Mario Kart X I feel like would just be a perfect title. Some people have come up with like Mario Kart Generations, kind of like have just a bunch of retro tracks from past Mario Kart games into one game. I don't think that will work very well. But I think that just calling it flat out Mario Kart 10 would not sound very well, and then people would start to be like, oh, Tour's not mainline, and that's another whole story and a half.
Yeah, we're not getting into that.
But there's also been the idea of calling it Mario Kart Ultimate, similar to, Smash Brothers Ultimate, where, like we kind of talked about earlier, is everything going to be coming back? I don't think that they'll call it Mario Kart Ultimate either. I think simply just calling it Mario Kart X, not give it like a super long name like Mario Kart Crossroads. I've heard a lot of people talk about that, and oh yeah, that's kind of another thing we didn't really talk about, but we'll get back to that in a second. But Mario Kart X, I think, is the perfect way to go.
Yeah, for me, I've had plenty of ideas in the past. I heard Mario Kart World Tour or Mario Kart Unleashed. Like, those are two ideas that came to my brain. Those are only like good idea names I could come up with, because it's hard to say what they were. Because Mario Kart 8, it worked well, surprisingly, because the anti-gravity mechanic, that Mobius strip thing, it worked. So yeah, and plus, it came out to Mario Kart 7, so that's also one other thing. But those are just names that I came up with, but it's super hard to predict what kind of name we'll have. So, since you're going to be talking into the next topic, I know what you're going to be talking about. The Nintendo DLC characters, right?
Yes, definitely. I forgot. I don't know how we forgot to mention them, but I think I'll start it off. I think that Mario Kart should not become Nintendo Kart. I think a lot of people can agree with that. And if they ever wanted to do a Nintendo Kart, make that its own separate thing. I don't want Mario Kart turning into Nintendo Kart, and I don't think it ever will. I think that Mario Kart 8 just simply did collaborations with other games, kind of similar to when they did that random Mercedes DLC.
Okay, I totally agree with that. I don't think they will do a total Mario crossover Nintendo focused game. That's what a lot of people said Mario Kart Crossroads was going to be about. But Crossroads, crossing over, it made sense. The title made sense. But I don't think it will ever do that, because it would take away from the Mario Kart aspect. Don't get me wrong, I would love to race in some of the DLC, some of the Nintendo courses, but I wouldn't see it. Do I see them being added as DLC? Yes, but not a total focus. I just don't see it happening. And I know people can be like, but it'd be so much fun. Yes, it would be, but I would like to make that its own thing. It'll take away from Mario Kart. It would.
Yeah, they could just make it like its own separate thing, like maybe one time, just to see if it would do well or not. And I could see it kind of doing well, because, it could be like a Smash Brothers equivalent. But I think that they could add DLC, like you said, for Mario Kart, just like a Nintendo DLC pack or something. Maybe make it like 1 or 2 rows, just Nintendo characters. As long as there's a lot of, the majority of characters are Mario, obviously. And I think that since Mario's universe has so many Mario characters that they have not used in the game, such as, the recent ones from like Wonder or Princess Peach Showtime, or the Thousand Year Door, really, they could start adding characters like that. Like, there's a lot of different things that they could go and do that are specific in the Mario universe that isn't in the Nintendo universe. So I think that I see them adding a DLC for Nintendo characters at some point, but not in the base game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much they'll do. I don't know if they're going to do the same characters that they did from Mario Kart 8. But the only thing I will say, if you're going to be bringing in DLC characters, please put in Captain Falcon. I still don't understand how they didn't put him in Mario Kart 8, and you have 2 F-Zero courses. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Captain Falcon is like a must if they do stuff with like Nintendo characters. It's still crazy how they did that, like without making a like Captain Falcon being brought in or anything. It kind of similar to like I feel like people have said that they've wanted to see a Splatoon track just simply because, they had Splatoon characters. But I feel like having the battle mode map was really nice, because it fits more like Splatoon like aesthetic, I guess. Like, it is a Splatoon track. I don't feel like would work very well, but having it as a battle mode track, you know, since the game is all about fighting, works very well.
Yeah, I definitely see it being as a battle track again. Maybe bring in some battle maps from Splatoon 3 into the battle mode. That would work well. And yeah, that actually brings up one other thing before we go off. Battle mode. I don't know how big it will be, but I hope it's good enough. And if they add in anything like new or unique, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think that they should have maybe like 16 battle tracks. Or no, let's say that a little bit lower. I think that they should have 12 battle tracks, maybe 6 new and 6 returning, kind of like I think what Mario Kart Wii did. I think that's the amount that was in that game. I think that would be perfect, but I think that they should also obviously bring back the other modes that 8 Deluxe introduced, and also I want the main mechanic to come back that was in Tour and older Mario Karts like DS and 64, where once one of your balloons are popped, you're done. You're out. You gotta just stay out of bounds and wait for the other players to finish. I think that should come back, the elimination aspect of battle mode.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Though, as my last thing before this, if you're gonna bring back battle mode, which you obviously are gonna do that, if you bring it back, bring in Funky Stadium as a map, please.
Yes, that is my most requested battle course track to ever be remade. That one needs to come back. It's so much fun. It's a huge open area. Enough said. It just needs to come back.
Yes, and also bring along Funky Kong, because, you know, he's Funky Kong. Come on, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, they know how much people love Funky Kong. That's why he was added in Wave 6 as a big hurrah.
Oh, yeah. Of course. And Diddy and Pauline. Bring them all in. I want them all in there. If you don't put them in there, then what are you doing?
Don't forget to add Peachette, because, you know, Peachette.
Oh, yeah, definitely bring in Peachette. Yes, me not rolling my eyes. Okay, dude, any last thoughts before we go off?
No, but I think that's basically it.
All right. Thank you guys for watching this Game Reach United podcast about Mario Kart. The next day is the Nintendo Direct, so that won't be its own video. I'll be live streaming that, so I cannot wait. Also, it's my birthday, so yay! All right, take care, guys, and Ryder, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Of course, take care, guys.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you liked this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Woohoo! I wonder if he has a pizza in his studio.